question's always the easiest. Name and title.
Okay, Tom Neal, Neal, alderperson for District 4, and I'm chairing this special dog park committee.
Okay, so it seemed that most of the time in the committee meeting tonight was spent talking about kind of the priority list and the phases for the new dog park that'll be coming.
Right, well, what we're trying to do is find out, what we absolutely have to do first. What might be, 1 point A, and what's phase 2 or phase 3, that kind of thing. So we can look at what our financial needs are, and then, so we have a more reasoned approach to fundraising and putting the park together so it's usable and, just have our priorities straight.
Okay, so is the priority list that was put together tonight final, or will it still take a couple more tries to get a finalized list?
I think it's pretty darn close. Anything is kind of shiftable depending on we find something out that we want to move this one up or we're going to push this one back. We can do that. It's not set in concrete, but I think we're pretty close to what's the very bare minimum we need to open a gate.
So what have you decided so far for that phase 1 that needs to be gotten for the dog park to open?
Well, we need to enclose it. We need to have parking. We're looking at having a walking path around it on the inside of the perimeter, but that could maybe be pushed back, depending on the source for the materials for that. If it's something that we can get on hand from the city, we can just go ahead and do it. If there's something we need to source elsewhere, that might be pushed back. So what else was there? I can't remember if there's anything else that was absolutely must for phase 1. Signage. Signage was the other one, because we have to be able to tell people what to do and how to do it when they're there.
And then what was the discussion about turf and the land at the location right now?
Well, when that surface was capped and they put in sand and topsoil and they seeded it, but I can't tell you right now exactly what kind of grass that is, how sparse or how full it is, how it'll function well or not, for a dog park. So when the snow finally goes away, we want to be able to take a look at that and determine, where are we at with that, with the turf. Can we go with what we have? Can we supplement it, or do we need to kind of really start, from scratch? And that's something that we just have to find out when the snow's gone, really.
Yeah. And then there was also a lot of discussion about fundraising. What are some of the kind of bigger ideas that came up in the meeting while brainstorming?
Well, something as easy as putting jars in places of business so people could drop $1 in, all the way up to anybody that might be interested in naming rights and for thousands of dollars, that sort of thing. So there's various levels of funding that we would be, welcoming, as well as support in the way of materials. Any given business, rather than giving us cash, might say, "Oh yeah, I could help you with this material, this fencing or this gravel or whatever." So that's what we're trying to identify the targets that we want to go talk to. That's why we have the priority list and looking at the materials we need, and then we can start saying, okay, is this something we're going to buy, or maybe somebody will give us, or even give us a discount on.
And then there was talk of maybe putting on events. Can you kind of talk a little bit about what those would be and when they could potentially happen?
We're talking about perhaps late this spring, maybe before Memorial Day, to have a dog walk down along the riverfront. Perhaps a rallying point would be at Oak Island, and then everybody would show up with their dogs. I guess maybe pay an entrance fee, a very small fee, and that would go towards helping to fund our dog park. So the dog walk would be for the dog park, and then off they go. People just go along the riverfront, and maybe there's an option to stop and take a look at our proposed dog park site. Maybe we'll do that this spring. Other than that, well, we'll see.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to add about the meeting tonight?
No, I'm just glad. I'm very optimistic. I think that we've got something that's very manageable, but we do have our work cut out for us.